Once there was a little boy, about the age of 10, and he loved his mother, but he was embarrassed and ashamed of her. Everywhere he went with his mother in public, this boy would always walk a few steps ahead or behind. He always tried to avoid being seen with her, and any time he was confronted with the question, "Is that your mother?" he would recoil and reluctantly say, "Yes." Yet on some occasions he would actually lie and deny that she was his mother. You see, even though his mother loved him very much and treated him as good as any mother could treat a child, she was so severely deformed and her face was so repulsive that most people had a hard time even looking at her. So even though this boy loved his mother, he was afraid of what other people would think about the way his mother looked and what they would say to him about her. Oftentimes, he would think about how if his friends knew that his mother looked that way, they wouldn't even want to be his friend, and they'd probably make fun of him. But one day, all that changed in an instant. As the boy was sitting on the front steps, he cried out to God and said, "God, why can't I have a mother that's beautiful and one that everyone would love to see?" And about that time, his uncle overheard the boy's plea to God, and he walked up and sat down beside him and asked, "Son, do you know how your mother came to look that way?" Well, the boy replied, "No, I thought she always looked that way." He said, "Son, when you were just an infant, too young to remember, your house caught on fire. Even while the firefighters tried to stop her, your mother, refusing to be denied, fought her way through those firefighters who were trying to restrain her, and she ran into the house, through the flames, and rescued you from certain death. In the process, she was so severely burned, she almost died. If not for the grace of God and your mother's love and sacrifice, you would have surely perished in the flames." At hearing this, the boy was immediately pricked in his heart by this tremendous act of heroism by his mother. He was no longer ashamed of her, but of himself and of the way that he had acted in the past. But from that day forward, everywhere he went, he proudly introduced his mother to everyone he met, and with great enthusiasm, he'd never miss a chance to tell them about this amazing self-sacrifice that his mother had made to save him from the fire that would have surely consumed him. Just like this boy's mother, God illustrated his love towards us in that Christ died for us while we were yet sinners. We love him who first loved us so much he was willing to become a man, be tempted and tested in all ways as we are, yet without sin, so that God could make him who knew no sin, sin for us. Jesus Christ, out of his never-ending, immeasurable love, suffered and died a brutal, cruel, horrific death on the cross so that we may be saved from the flames of hell. Just like that little boy who came to the knowledge of the truth, if we are truly grateful for God's grace, if we're overwhelmed by his ultimate act of love and sacrifice, we won't be ashamed to tell people about him. We will enthusiastically introduce him to all our friends and to even strangers.